We don't want them to feel like they are stuck. Labels are lasting. Childhood mistakes and the things we do are short term if we let them be. One of our greatest fears in parenting is that our children will carry a behavior from childhood all the way through to adulthood. That if we see some negative behavior, that is going to be who they are for the rest of their lives, right? That is often pretty overblown, but it is because we're great parents. It's because we care about our children's future and want to make sure that if we see problematic behaviors, that we are focused on making sure that we deal with them. Go ahead, parents. We're doing the right thing. One of those things that worry us the most is lying, right? When we see our children lie, we're like, oh my goodness. Sometimes we can just kind of have this irrational fear that if they're lying about hiding crayons at 3 years old, they're going to be lying about a drug deal when they're 30, and then they're going to be a kingpin. And next thing you know, we're going to be getting them out of jail. That's a lot, right? but we worry. We want to make sure that we don't even give room for that type of thing to happen. And so it's important for us as parents to understand why our children lie. It gives us some power. And one thing that I learned as a parenting coach from the Jai Institute is that childhood is a very variable experience. It is a developmental stage. It's the shortest time of our life is childhood. Imagine we live to 70. We're adults for over 50 years. So it's a very long time. So it's important to have an awareness of why do our children do the things that they do? And when it comes to lying, there's a few things that causes our children to lie. One thing is that they're simply learning boundaries. They are learning how to interact with the world that they live in a very creative way. This stage around 2 or 3 is when we start to see lying in our children. It's a developmental stage. They are in a very creative space in their mental development. And so it's fun for them to be imaginative and exciting or to kind of make up things. I love when my children make up these stories and I was a superhero and I did this, right? That's technically an untruth. You're not actually a superhero, but they love it. I'm Spider-Man. No, you're not, but that's just part of it. They're learning how to deal with the boundaries of the world or what's going on. And another thing is very basic. Another reason is very basic, and we all understand this. It's fear and self-preservation. That this very small person is being asked, did they do something wrong and they know they did it by a big person? A big person is asking the small person, did you do it? No. Like, my basic need to self-preserve kicks in, and I kind of don't want to say that I did it. It's not because I'm evil. It's not because I'm a bad person. It's because that's a scary experience for me. That there's a power difference, that you're more powerful than me, and I'm afraid to upset you or frustrate you. And that's normal to human beings. And so we need to be okay valuing that normal process is okay. It doesn't make them crazy. That in order for a child to survive, they need to be very selfish. A baby can't come out and say, sorry, mother, I need to make sure you're taken care of before I am. They wouldn't survive that way. So it is normal for them at these very early stages to be self-preservers. Now, what do I do about it, though? So I don't often like to say what we shouldn't do, but I'm going to start with what we shouldn't do and then talk about what we should do as parents. One thing you should not do is call your child a liar. We want to avoid labeling them at these very young ages when what you say have so much power over them and they are connecting their identity with your words. So we want to avoid saying, you're such a liar. You lie all the time and I can't trust you. That has a lot of power to them. So we want to avoid that. We don't want them to feel like they are stuck. Labels are lasting. Childhood mistakes and the things we do are short term if we let them be. So we want to avoid these kind of labeling things. That's the first thing. The second thing we want to do is, it's not going to be intuitive, but it's very counterintuitive, but trust me on it. We don't want to make a big deal out of it. The second thing is just don't make a big deal out of it. At 2 or 3, we don't want to sit them in a chair and put a flashing light on them. Did you drink the juice? No, I didn't drink the juice. I mean, I know I got purple stuff all over my mouth, but the way you just did that, made me really not want to tell the truth. So we want to be careful about our approach. We don't want to approach them like they're already did something wrong, right? Who broke the glass? I mean, I just made a mistake. And so I'm going to lie to you if you make me feel like you're angry or frustrated. So just try not to approach these things with such aggression. And if you realize, even if you don't approach it scary, and you realize, you know what, they're just lying. Don't make a big deal out of the lie, especially at these very, very young ages. Just kind of make sure you notice the untruth. Like, hey, you said you didn't play with any crayons today, but I did notice you playing with those crayons, and then just let it go. Like, it's okay. Sometimes it can be difficult. So, I did notice the crayons, and then go on, and then they'll start to notice that, I'm not being made to feel like the worst person in the world. That can start to help them understand that, for one, you maintain the connection with them, and that, you're not going to kill them if they don't get it right. And the last thing you want to do is very, very powerful. You want to make sure there's a understanding in the family that we celebrate truth. Celebrate truth. That there's greater consequences for lying than there are for truth. That when you tell the truth, that we celebrate that. And so don't wait until something happens, but make sure there's a general rule in the family that, hey, we tell the truth and truth is good, and that there is a lot more benefit in life and in this moment for truth than there is for a lie. And so when something comes up and they choose to tell the truth because that rule is already there, you celebrate it like it's the last thing or the best thing that's ever happened, right? Like, oh my gosh, thank you for telling the truth. Mama's going to get you something special. That toy you always wanted, let's get it. Or we want to make sure we celebrate. Because what that does is it shows them that being vulnerable is okay. Let them know you understand. It is hard. I'm so proud of you because it is so hard to be vulnerable because there's a risk with vulnerability. And mommy's so proud. Daddy's so proud. We're so proud of you. So you want to lean into celebrating. Raising 6 kids, I even dance and celebrate. Like, oh my gosh, you did it. Like, let's go. And so they're like, that feels good. It feels good. My mama grabbed me and hugged me and say, hey, you did it. You're doing a good job here. And so if you say and make that rule, just follow through. That when they tell the truth, celebrate them. And when they lie, follow through. There's a consequence. Hey, I know you said you didn't drink the juice, but your mouth and your tongue is purple. And I saw you with the cup. I saw you drinking it. So unfortunately, that means that I know we planned on going to, do this fun thing, but we're going to have to wait till tomorrow. And it's just a mistake. And you know what? I believe in you. I know you're going to get it right tomorrow, but today we have a consequence. So just focus on those 3 things. Avoid calling them liars. Don't call them out of their names. Don't attack their character. Make sure you don't make a big deal out of, when they make mistakes or lie. And then celebrate truth. Like it's going out of style. Celebrate truth. And for more of these tips, make sure you reach out to the Jai Institute for Parenting.